Good morning, students. Today we discuss about the new chapter, that is surface chemistry. You know, this is the last chapter belongs to physical chemistry in your syllabus. And you know, what do you mean by surface? Surface means mainly it is the outermost region. Outermost region, that is generally termed as surface. And here in surface chemistry, it deals with the reactions takes place at the surface or interface between two phases such as solid, gas, solid, liquid, etc. And you are familiar with this term absorption. Okay? Absorption. And here we discuss about a new term that is called adsorption. Absorption as well as adsorption. And you just think about this activity. Let us imagine this part, that is spongy part. When this duster is kept on this dust powder, you can see that dust is accumulated mainly at the surface of the duster. Okay? When this just press this duster on this chalk powder, you can see that chalk powder is mainly deposited or accumulated on the surface of the duster. And the same duster, when it is immersed in water, don't think about this wooden part, only the spongy part. Then when this duster is immersed or dipped in water, you can see that the presence of water is at the surface as well as in the interior. That is called the bulk of this duster. Here, the former one is called adsorption and the later one is called absorption. Then can you just differentiate adsorption and absorption? Among adsorption and absorption, which one is a surface phenomena? Which one is a surface phenomena? Obviously it is adsorption. In adsorption, a particular species get deposited at the surface of another substance, while in absorption that species is present at the surface as well as bulk of that substance. Diagrammatically, we can differentiate these two. That is, we just analyze the two diagrams. You can see there are two diagrams, and in diagram 1, a particular species is almost uniformly distributed at the surface as well as bulk. Okay? Here the major proportion is at the surface than in the bulk. Then it is clear that first one refers absorption and the second one is adsorption. Since we discuss about the surface chemistry, we mainly go through this adsorption. Okay. You have studied about this anhydrous calcium chloride, as well as you are familiar with the silica gel. If you bought some electronic device such as mobile phone, laptop, etc., you can see there is a packet, small packet called silica gel is kept inside that packet. That silica gel, the purpose of silica gel, if there is any moisture content in that bag or packet, silica gel, this moisture get absorbed, get deposited at the surface of silica gel. That is why silica gel is normally added. And when moisture means water vapor. When moisture is passed through a tank containing anhydrous calcium chloride on one side and silica gel on the other side, can you just differentiate these two processes? Here, this anhydrous calcium chloride absorbs water and turns into liquid state. That is, they belongs to hygroscopic, means absorbs moisture. Absorption of moisture takes place in the case of anhydrous calcium chloride, while silica gel, moisture get absorbs on the silica gel. That is the difference between these two processes. That is, when moisture, if moisture is passed through a container that contains anhydrous calcium chloride on one side and silica gel on the other side, can you just differentiate the two processes? Definitely the process with the silica gel is adsorption, and that with the anhydrous calcium chloride is absorption. Once more, absorption, the concentration of a particular species is uniform, almost uniform at the surface as well as bulk, while in adsorption, a particular species is mainly concentrated at the surface than in the bulk of the material. Here, we mainly concentrated about this adsorption. And adsorption, a particular species get adsorbs on another surface. Here, the surface on which adsorption takes place is called adsorbent. The surface on which adsorption takes place is called adsorbent, and the species that get adsorbed is called adsorbate. Species get adsorbed is called adsorbate. Adsorbent means the surface on which adsorption takes place. Here, this chalk particle get adsorbed, get deposited on the duster, surface of duster. Here, which one is adsorbent? Which one is the adsorbent in this case, chalk powder or duster? Yes, duster is the adsorbent and chalk powder act as the adsorbate. Okay? And removal of adsorbate from the surface of adsorbent is called desorption. Removal of adsorbate from the surface of adsorbent is called desorption. The enthalpy change accompanied when 1 mole of an adsorbate adsorbs on the surface of adsorbent. I repeat, enthalpy change accompanied when 1 mole of an adsorbate adsorbs on the surface of adsorbent is called enthalpy of adsorption. Is called enthalpy of adsorption. Okay, enthalpy of adsorption. In certain cases, both absorption and adsorption takes place simultaneously. That is, process in which there is simultaneous adsorption as well as absorption is called sorption. Sorption. S-O-R-P-T-I-O-N, sorption. Sorption means process in which both adsorption and the absorption takes place side by side or simultaneously. For example, when ammonia gas is passed through charcoal, which is an allotrope of carbon kept in water, what happens? Ammonia get absorbed by water, while ammonia get adsorbs on the surface of charcoal. That is, both such a process is called absorption. Okay. Next, this adsorbate particle get deposited on the surface on the basis of some intermolecular force of attraction. Based on that, adsorption is classified into two types. Which are the two types of adsorption means? One is called physical adsorption. Physical adsorption, it is called physisorption, and the second is chemical adsorption, or chemisorption. There are two types of adsorption, namely physical adsorption and or physisorption, or chemical adsorption or chemisorption. And let us go through what are the major difference between these two types of adsorption. One is physical adsorption and other is chemical adsorption. And first one is physisorption, and the second column about chemisorption. And in physisorption, weak van der Waals force exists between adsorbent and adsorbate. That is van der Waals. Van der Waals force is the weakest intermolecular force. That type of weak intermolecular force exists between this adsorbate and adsorbent in the case of physisorption. While in the case of chemisorption, somebody think about that, since it is a difference between 2 points, that is chemisorption and physisorption, here the difference is here weak van der Waals force, here strong van der Waals force. That will never happen because this van der Waals force is the weakest intermolecular force. Okay, here strong chemical bond exists between adsorbent and adsorbate. Strong chemical bond exists between adsorbent and adsorbate. And the second one, here low enthalpy of adsorption. Here it is high enthalpy of adsorption. That is, in the case of physisorption, it is about 20 to 40 kilojoule per mole, very low enthalpy of adsorption. While here 80 to 240 kilojoule per mole is the enthalpy of adsorption in chemisorption. Okay. Then in physisorption, weak intermolecular force exists, low enthalpy of adsorption, that is adsorption as well as desorption takes place in the case of physisorption. While in the case of chemisorption, when a particular adsorbate gets deposited or adsorbed on the surface, strong chemical bond exists between that adsorbent and adsorbate. Hence, they hold tightly with this adsorbent surface and they are irreversible. And one more point, in physisorption, due to weak intermolecular force, some other adsorbate molecule can also exist on the surface as well as it forms a multi-layer formation takes place in the case of physisorption. While in chemisorption, when a particular adsorbate is directly bonded to this adsorbent, it acts as a barrier for the next incoming adsorbate molecule. Hence, there is no chance for the formation of multi-layer. Here only single layer formation takes place, while here multi-layer formation. That is about the 2 points. One is physisorption is reversible while chemisorption is irreversible, and it leads to multi-layer formation. Here monolayer or single layer formation. Next is about specificity. Physisorption is not specific in nature, while chemisorption is highly specific. Specificity is mainly applicable for, you have studied about this enzyme catalysis. Enzymes are biological catalysts. Each enzyme can control a particular conversion alone. That is indicated by this term specificity. That is, physisorption is not specific while chemisorption is highly specific. Each adsorbate can act on a particular site on this adsorbent. That we will discuss in the case of heterogeneous catalysis, specificity. Then, physisorption decreases with increase in temperature. Physisorption decreases with the increase in temperature. Chemisorption first increases, then decreases. It first increases. There is a first increase in the case of chemisorption, after that it decreases. Then it does not require activation energy. Which one? Physisorption does not require activation energy. Chemisorption requires activation energy. Okay, these are the major difference between physisorption and chemisorption. Difference between, I'll ask question like this, that is difference between physisorption and chemisorption. It is better to represent in the form of this table. That is, you make 2 columns and write the respective points. It is easy to evaluate. Okay. If the question is for 2 marks question, then you should write minimum 4 points. Either 3 marks question you must write the 6 points minimum. Here you can see that the last 2 points, physisorption decreases with the increase in temperature. It is clear that as temperature increases, rate of physisorption decreases, means it is an exothermic. Adsorption is an exothermic process. In chemisorption, it requires activation energy. What do you mean by activation energy? The minimum energy required for the reactant molecule to participate or to take part in a reaction is called a threshold energy. The minimum energy required for the reactant molecule to involve or participate, to take part in a reaction is called a threshold energy. Normally, the reactant molecule possesses this threshold energy is very low. However, if we supply some energy in the form of heat or light, more molecules gains energy higher than the threshold energy. That extra energy is supplied to the reactant molecule to undergo a chemical reaction is known by the term activation energy. That is why, since we supply an extra energy to that reaction medium, you can see there is a first increase in the rate of chemisorption. After that, it decreases. Okay? In entrance examination also, for multiple choice question, they give at least 4 points, and 3 belongs to this viscosity and the fourth one chemisorption, and question asked like this: which one is not a property of viscosity? MCQ type. Okay. Therefore, it is very important one. Next, we discuss what are the important factors that affect adsorption. What are the factors that affect adsorption? Factors affecting adsorption. First one is nature of gas. Nature of gas means easily liquefiable gases. You have studied last year in states of matter that when we apply high pressure to gas, they changes to liquid. That is, the molecule come closer and intermolecular force arises. Then the gaseous particle changes to liquid state. Easily liquefiable gas such as ammonia, they have strong intermolecular force of attraction. Such a gas adsorbs to a greater extent than other gases, say hydrogen or nitrogen, ammonia. Nitrogen and ammonia, when passed over activated charcoal, which one get adsorbed quickly or which one adsorbed to a greater extent? The answer is ammonia. Reason is easily liquefiable gas. They have strong intermolecular force of attraction. Such a gas adsorbs to a greater extent than other gases. Okay. Then second one, nature and surface area. Surface area of adsorbent. It is very clear. That is, in the case of a solid surface, as the surface area increases, rate of adsorption also increases. Surface area of adsorbent. As surface area increases, rate of adsorption also increases. The rate of adsorption increases with the increase in surface area of adsorbent. Third one is temperature. Temperature. Rate of adsorption, especially physisorption, decreases with increase in temperature. When a gas adsorbs on a solid, that is, adsorption of gas on solid surface is accompanied by the liberation of heat energy. That is, adsorption is an exothermic process. Therefore, the sign of delta H is negative for adsorption. And we discussed that in the case of chemisorption, since we supply an extra energy, that is, activation energy is required for chemisorption, the rate first increases, then decreases. Then what is the sign of delta G? Delta G means it is a change in free energy, and for a spontaneous process, the value of delta G is always negative. And what will be the sign of delta S for adsorption? Delta S means change in entropy. What happens to the entropy of, suppose you just imagine when a gaseous particle gets adsorbed on a solid surface, what happens to the disorder of that system? Initially, these gas molecules are in random state or disorder is maximum. when they get adsorbs on a, or hydrogen get adsorbs, hydrogen gaseous molecule, enough freedom or maximum disorder, when they get adsorbs on a surface, on the surface of nickel, platinum or palladium, on a solid surface, their disorder decreases. That is, there is a decrease in entropy of the system. That is why for an adsorption, all these factors such as enthalpy change, free energy change as well as entropy change is negative, has a negative value. Then the graphical representation, we can represent graphically about the variation of this extent of adsorption versus temperature. Here we use a parameter that is called x by m. X by m is called extent of adsorption. Extent of adsorption, where x is the mass of adsorbate. X is the mass of adsorbate and m is the mass of adsorbent. X is the mass of adsorbate and m is the mass of adsorbent. That ratio is called extent of adsorption, x by m. And if we draw a graph between this extent of adsorption against temperature, that is x by m, extent of adsorption against temperature at constant pressure. The graph drawn at constant pressure is generally termed as adsorption isobar. Adsorption isobar means normally isobar pressure or graph drawn at constant pressure is called isobar. Here this curve graph represents adsorption isobar. And here you can see that there are two types of graph. First one corresponds to adsorption because with the increase in temperature the rate of adsorption decreases. And this graph denotes adsorption isobar for physisorption. And this one adsorption isobar for chemisorption. Here you can see that in the case of chemisorption, the rate of adsorption first increases, then decreases. The first increase in the chemisorption is due to the reason that it requires activation energy, that we supply an extra amount of energy to that system. That is why there is first increase in the rate of chemisorption, after that it decreases. Normally the rate of adsorption decreases with increase in temperature. The graph drawn by taking extent of adsorption, that is x by m, where x is the mass of adsorbent and m is the mass of adsorbate, against temperature at constant pressure, that graph is known as adsorption isobar. And here we get separate graph for physisorption as well as chemisorption, because in physisorption the rate decreases with the increase in temperature, and in the case of chemisorption it first decreases, then first increases, then decreases. The first increase in due to the reason that it requires activation energy. Let us recollect that what are the important points regarding to surface chemistry that we have already discussed. That is, first one about the difference between adsorption and absorption. Adsorption is a surface phenomena. Absorption, a particular species is almost uniformly concentrated at the surface as well as bulk. And the different terms, since the lesson deals with the surface chemistry, we mainly concentrated on adsorption. To that, different terms involved in the case of adsorption are adsorbent, which is the surface on which adsorption takes place, and the particular species get adsorbed is known by the term adsorbate. Removal of that adsorbate is called desorption. Enthalpy change accompanying when 1 mole of an adsorbate get adsorbed is called enthalpy of adsorption. In certain cases, both adsorption and absorption takes place. They are called sorption. And based on the intermolecular force between adsorption and absorption is of two types. One is physical adsorption and the other is chemical adsorption. Next is about the factors. What are the factors that affect the rate of adsorption? First one is the nature of gas. Here, easily liquefiable gases have strong intermolecular force of attraction. Such a gas adsorbs to a greater extent than other gases. Then second one is nature and surface area of the adsorbent. As the surface area of the adsorbent increases, rate of adsorption also increases. Next is about temperature. Temperature means mainly the process adsorption decreases with the increase in temperature, especially fissorption. It is an exothermic process, that is, it is accompanied by the liberation of heat energy. That is why delta H enthalpy change is negative for adsorption. And the free energy is negative because it is a spontaneous process. And during adsorption, the disorder of the system decreases, hence delta S or entropy change is also negative. The graphical representation of extent of adsorption indicated by the ratio x by m, where x is the mass of adsorbate and m is the mass of adsorbent against temperature at constant pressure. That graph is known as adsorption isobar. And in the case of fissorption, the adsorption isobar decreases with the increase in temperature, and in the case of chemisorption, it first increases then decreases. The first increase in the case of chemisorption is due to the reason that it requires activation energy. Here we discussed the major three factors affecting adsorption, namely nature of gas as well as this temperature, and the remaining thing, pressure, is another important factor that we'll discuss in the next session. Okay, thank you all.